Hello everyone and welcome to part 4 of What If Elita 1 was in Transformers Prime. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So, we are at the relic segment. And Megatron is first to deploy his Decepticons because the Autobots never got the information from the computers because Flying Mind didn't happen here. And Optimus Prime just sends his Autobots in response to the Decepticons deploying, as to which we see Greenlight and Lancer as they are deployed into the tunnels in response to a Decepticon deployment. And once they arrive, they are greeted by Knockout and Breakdown, as well as a squadron of Vehicons with them. However, after some time, the Vehicon squad are killed off, to which Breakdown tries to take a swing with his hammer at Lancer, and Lancer's like, "Where are your manners? You can't hit a lady." And then Breakdown's like, "You're right, I'm sorry." To which Breakdown takes out his shoulder cannon and begins shooting at her. To which Lancer does dodge the shots and fires back. To which we see Greenlight take out her melee weapon, a mini chainsaw, and she kinda cuts at Knockout. Knockout says, "You scratch my paint job! Prepare for surgery!" And then he charges at Greenlight. But Greenlight jumps, landing on Knockout's shoulder and stabbing him, killing him. And then she heads to the relic, the phase shifter, and picks it up. To which Breakdown saying that goes and picks out Knockout's body and retreats. And then Greenlight and Lancer look at each other on a mission well done and call up Ratchet for a ground bridge back to base. To which we then see Bumblebee and RC are deployed into the Arctic. And we could say that they have stuff on them now, newly made, that they could be able to withstand the freezing cold for maybe a whole day or something. And along the way to the relic, the two do encounter someone there, Shockwave. To which Shockwave takes out his weapon and aims at the two. To which we then see the squadron of Vehicons there with him begin to attack the Autobots. And Shockwave makes a run for the relic. However, seeing that there are humans there, he does not hesitate to kill the humans in his way to get to the relic. And then once he gets it, he puts it on. And then we see Shockwave donning the Apex armor, and then he marches out to RC and Bumblebee. To which he runs, mostly targeting RC to punch her through the chest to kill her. But Bumblebee gets in the way and is impaled through the chest by Shockwave, killed instantly. And all Shockwave does is just stare without any emotion at the fallen Bumblebee. And then he looks to RC, "Allow me to reunite you with him." "You're not gonna get the chance, Shockwave." She then aims below him, causing him to fall down in the Apex armor into the freezing water. To which he struggles to swim himself up or get free, but the freezing cold freezes the Apex armor's movement abilities, and he's stuck in the Apex armor, down in the freezing cold. RC mourns over Bumblebee, but then she calls Ratchet for a ground bridge and to update him on what just happened. And now, we get the Bulkhead, Wheeljack, and Moonracer, the Wrecker Trio, as they head into the Volcano region. To which the three spot something which kinda puts them aback. The relic is Toxin. To which the three debate on what to do with the Toxin. But that is when a group of Insecticons fly in and surround the three. And all in unison say, "Don't count on it, Autobots. That relic is ours." To which Wheeljack is like, "Don't worry, Wreckers. A leaderless hive is usually a one to take down easily." But that is when one steps out of the group. "I don't think so." And the last remaining hardshell clone that survived steps out of the group under a new identity and look. "You may call me Razorhorn, leader of the Insecticon Hive." And behold, guys, the second RID 2015 character introduced within my What If Motionverse, aka Universe, Razorhorn. To which the three wreckers look at each other and decide to act quickly. To which Wheeljack throws a bomb and shoots it, causing a huge explosion at the Insecticon team. And then the three run off with the Toxin, kind of taking turns holding it, so they could save energy as they journey up the volcano to dispose of it. And in amidst the rubble of fellow dead Insecticons, Razorhorn growls, "Grrr, foolish wreckers," and then he transforms and flies after them. Alas, all three are making it up the volcano, each taking turns holding the toxin. And then they approach the bit of the volcano where they have to throw it in. And then Razorhorn transforms and gets in their path. Hand over the toxin. For if you must know, I share my namesake Hodshell's memories, so I know he has crushed many wreckers in his time. As to which the three look at each other and decided that they've had enough of this guy's talking. As to which they throw the toxin at him, causing him to fall back into the volcano. And then the three call Ratchet for a ground bridge back to base. And just as they are about to walk into the ground bridge, Razorhorn emerges from the volcano and fires his gun at Bulkhead, killing him instantly. And then he transforms and flies off, with the two saddened by Bulkhead's death, and Wheeljack is more filled with vengeance. And then the two transport Bulkhead back to base. So we get to Optimus Prime and Elita 1, who are headed to the final relic of this segment together. Laserbeak flies in, opening fire on the two as he is trying to keep them both away. After which Optimus takes out his blasters and begins firing at Laserbeak, and then he tells Elita, "Go on, I will handle Laserbeak. I will meet up with you shortly. Retrieve the relic." Elita doesn't want to leave Optimus alone, however, she understands that this relic needs to be retrieved, so she transforms and drives to the relic. To which, meanwhile, we see Shadow Striker and Soundwave at the relic, and Soundwave is trying to dig down for it. And Shadow Striker is like, "So Soundwave, is it? You're usually this quiet?" To which Soundwave just looks at her and nods, and continues mining. And then Shadow Striker's like, "Let me guess, a vow of silence?" And then Soundwave just nods as he continues mining. And Shadow Striker's like, that's pretty badass, not gonna lie. And then, that's when Elita 1 rolls in, transforms and aims her blaster. Shadow Striker, Soundwave, step away from the relic. I don't want to do this, especially to you, Shadow Striker. Shadow Striker then takes out a sword and slices at Elita 1. But Elita 1 punches, knocking the sword off of her hand. And then Shadow Striker takes out a 2 pair of knives. And we could say Elita 1 takes out a pair of arm blades herself, similar to the ones like RC has. And then the two clash with their swords. And Elita 1 says, "Shadow Striker, we were sisters. Please don't do this. Come back with us." And Shadow Striker's like, "Sisters? Sisters? Sisters don't abandon each other." And at last, Soundwave uncovers the Resonance Blaster. But then, Laserbeak is thrown from the sky, wounded. And Soundwave just casually lets him back onto his chest. But then Optimus Prime drives in and punches Soundwave down. And Optimus grabs the Resonance Blaster, holding it tightly, and he nods at Elita. And then Elita 1 smiles at him and nods, and then Shadow Striker's like, "Grr." But knowing the Resonance Blaster is now in the Autobot's hands, she goes to Soundwave's body and drags him off. And Elita 1 is like, "Shadow Striker, no." And then Optimus puts his hand on her shoulder, reassuring her. And then he contacts for a ground bridge from Ratchet back to base. And as the two return to base, they are shocked to see Bumblebee and Bulkhead's dead bodies inside of containers. As to which the Autobots begin to explain to them every detail of all their missions. For example, RC says how she and Bumblebee had encountered Shockwave, and Shockwave killed Bumblebee, and she had buried Shockwave under the ice with the Apex armor. And then Wheeljack and Moonracer explain how they encountered a hardshell clone going by the name as Razorhorn now, and that he had killed Bulkhead, with the toxin being disposed of. And Greenlight and Moonracer report the successful retrievement of the phase shifter as well as the fall of Knockout. To which eventually the two bots are laid to rest outside of the base. And Optimus and Elita both discuss the recent losses, and that this pushes their numbers back too. And then Optimus looks to Ratchet, "Contact Agent Fowler." Optimus and Ratchet greet him as he arrives, and he's looking different. Or at least the Nemesis Prime vessel was looking different. To which Agent Fowler says, "Heard you need backup. Sorry about the loss of B and Bulkhead, Prime, but I'm here to help. My human name is Agent Fowler, but as an Autobot, you could call me Patriot." And both welcome Agent Fowler, aka Patriot, to the Autobots. And later, we see Optimus Prime and Elita 1 as they head off with Patriot on his first field mission, as a Cybertronian escape pod has just entered Earth's atmosphere. And that's where I'm gonna leave it off here, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed part 4, and I'll see you guys in part 5.